Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tea Kettle Talk on the Voices Randomist channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about a topic that is probably going to be something that many of you have been thinking about, but you haven't been able to articulate. Tonight, I have a guest with me, my niece by choice, Winter, and her mother, Dartania, is going to be joining us in a moment. And the question on the table tonight is we're going to talk about being biracial in America and the challenges from the child's perspective and the parent's perspective. So we hope that you'll stay with us tonight and join us and listen in as we talk about this topic. So Winter, I really want to thank you for being on the show with me tonight and just sharing your perspective, what it means to be a biracial child here in America. I see I'm going to let your mom in, and then we'll get started with the discussion because I want to talk to her too. Hi, Dartania.
I don't know what happened.
It's okay. We're good. We're recording, and I've already introduced Winter, and I've told everybody what the topic is going to be, and we shared that you're going to be coming. So Winter's mother, Dartania, is here, also my sister, and they're going to talk about tonight from the mother and daughter perspective, what it's like to be the parent of a biracial child, some of the challenges that they may face. And again, like I said before, Winter's going to share with us some of the challenges and some of the obstacles she's had to overcome in order to shape her identity. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dartania first. Dartania, just give me a little bit of a background. You're obviously in a mixed marriage. Winter is your daughter. So talk about how all this occurred and what's been, your life.
Well, I was in a mixed marriage. I was married to Winter's father for 4 years. I want to say 4 years. But when we first got together, it was kind of, people would stare because the city in which he lived, there were not any Black people living there. So we'd go to the grocery store and people would literally trip up the sidewalk to look and see what I looked like or what our daughter looked like. And he would get upset with me because I would turn around and tell people to take a picture because it would last longer. Stop staring at me.
I don't blame you.
Can I help you? So being a Black woman in the white neighborhoods, it was no different than being a white man in the Black neighborhoods. They did the exact same thing to him that they did to me in his neighborhood. So people would stare all the time like, oh my God. Like, it's not normal. I think it is.
Did you ever have people come to you and actually question whether that was your child? Did you ever have somebody?
Okay. We actually had, we were at a party and Winter was asking for something and they kept saying, go get her mother. When they kept telling them that I was her mother, they kept telling me that I was not her mother. They were thinking that my brother's girlfriend was her mother. Mm-hmm. They told me I was not her mother. That's not her mother. That's her mother. So I wasn't her mother because I was too dark.
So Winter, what was it like for you watching your mother have to defend her identity and then actually to be able to be that protector for you? And again, I want to thank you for being here to share what must be a sensitive story, so.
I really didn't see it growing up much. It was more when I was younger, but as I got older, I started to look like her. She always called her mini me, and it's always just been very protective of me. She always will be.
When you hear people challenging your mother like that, at any point, anyone challenging whether your mother is your mother, what do you want to say to those people, or what does that do to you inside?
For me, it's more of the fact that everything's about race right now. So they think just because I look a little bit more white than Black, that she definitely couldn't be my mother. My dad definitely couldn't be my dad. They think I'm more Mexican or Puerto Rican. So
you get that lot.
For me, it's like, well, I grew up with my mother. That's my mother. So I tell them, like, yes, that's my mother. If we stand next to each other, we look just alike.
How does being a biracial child in America really inform you and make you think about who and what you can be and what you can do in this time?
In high school, I didn't fit in with the black kids because I wasn't black enough, and I didn't fit in with a lot of the big white groups because I wasn't white enough. So I found my couple of friends that didn't care about race or didn't care about how I looked, and just made friends with them. I didn't really care about who I fit in with. I was never much for being popular.
What was the common ground, or what was the place or the conversation that you could have with people that you could actually find a common ground, something topic to kind of pull you in so that people could get past that and see Winter and want to connect with Winter, and it wasn't about this biracial girl, we don't really know who she is, trying to figure out. What do you think it was that made people started to really connect with you on a human level?
I was in a lot of sports, so a lot of the sports that I was in and art, both of those two were a big thing for me.
What sport were you in?
Track and cheerleading. I did dance for 1 year.
So pretty docile sports. It wasn't like you were like a basketball or anything.
Yeah.
Like that. But these are sports, if you will, that are relegated normally to women and expectations of what women could be. As you were in school, were you ever in a situation where tell me about the makeup of your peers, your classroom? Tell me what type of peers you had. The racial makeup.
There was a lot of different type. There was Hispanics, there was whites, there was blacks, there was mixed of everyone. It wasn't just more majority of one person than the other.
And in that dynamic, and I know this might be uncomfortable to say, talk to me about the people who gave you the most difficult time. What were the things that they gave you difficulty about, and how did you overcome it? Because I know you, and I know you. So talk to me about your resilience in that environment. What did you do to cope? And how was your mother the support system for you? Because I know your mother, but I want to hear. And then I want to hear from her the exact, as she's looking down and watching all this from your stories, how that impacted her as a mother. So go ahead, talk to me about your peer makeup and all of the dynamics of that.
I was really quiet as a child, didn't tell her much. So I kind of just fought my own battles for a long time until I actually started to open up. But in middle school, when I lived with my dad, it was primarily a white school, and I got bullied quite a lot. I started bringing it to the principal and everything like that, and then it actually became a big deal. My mom brought me back home after that.
What types of things did people do to bully you, and what types of things did they say that let you know that you were other or different?
I really didn't have many people to sit with at lunch, or they would just make little snarky comments. I don't remember much of them, but I know a lot of them. Someone called me fake just because I wasn't the same as them.
So Dar, from your perspective, even though your daughter may not have shared all this, as a mother, we got that sixth sense. Tell me, when did you first start to notice, because I know you did, that something was going on, and how did you approach Winter, and how did you guys get to the crux of it so that you could be what you needed to be for her in that time frame?
Well, me and Winter's dad we have a no argument policy when it comes to Winter. So we share everything when it comes to Winter. So we didn't have a bitter relationship when we divorced. Everything between us has been amicable. So we were able to have conversations about our daughter. So if anything happened on my side or anything happened on his side, we would call each other and we would let each other know. But there was some issues with her behavior that made me raise flags, because she stayed with me the first couple of years after we divorced, and then she went and stayed with him for like 2 years. Then I went back and got her, because at that point she needed her mother and not her father. But he's always been there, so I'll take nothing against him. He's always been there. He's never left her side or never left her presence as her father. Right. But I could tell the difference in her behavior. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So she started to go into more of a shell than what she already was. Mm-hmm. And then she had this point where she cut off all her hair. Like once his hair was down to her behind, you hear me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And she was living with her father, at that time, and I got a phone call from the school about some behavior issues that she had been having. And I go to pick her up from the school, and half her hair is gone. So I had a fit.
Right.
Took her father out.
Right.
He had a whole problem, but he didn't realize her hair was cut. He thought I cut her hair.
Okay.
He thought I was the one that took her to get her hair cut. So we had a whole fallout about that. Like, how do you not see that? Like, how do you not notice that? Like, what are you doing? Okay, it's time for her to come back. She need to. It's time for her to relocate.
Right.
You're doing too much.
Right. Wow. Wow. So, isn't it interesting that even as her mother, you are able to pick on the behavioral differences and tune in? Because usually when something is happening up here, it manifests in people's behavior. And I got to tell you that I can tell you that the cutting of the hair is a coping mechanism. I know from personal experience. The first thing that I did after I was in a fire and I was going through my divorce was to cut my hair and braids. And it was my natural hair with extensions in it. My hair was about right here. And you know how hard it is to grow our hair sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, that's our pride and joy. But that was the point when I went like this and I shaved everything off, and I get where you were coming from. It's like you're trying to get rid of everything about yourself that's not making your life real. I'm just saying from my own perspective, I was trying to shed, if you will, like a snake, how they shed their skin, or a butterfly that goes into a cocoon and comes out. I mean, the caterpillar goes into the cocoon and comes out as the butterfly. And I think that for me, it was symbolic of just trying to break away from the old and come into the new. Winter, when you cut, when your hair was cut, did you cut your hair, or did somebody else cut your hair for you?
I cut it.
If you can take me back to that moment, I know what I was feeling. I don't want to take you any place where you don't want to go, but if you're okay with it, what were you thinking at that minute when you cut your hair? What was you trying to solve? Because in your mind, it was something going on. You was like, what was it?
At first, it was just too much to handle because my dad wasn't helping me take care of it. So then I cut a little bit off, and then I started getting bullied. So then I cut a little bit more off, and then I just kept cutting a little bit more as I kept getting bullied.
So the cutting of the hair, was that symbolic of everything in life that was too much to handle? And by cutting the hair, you were removing some of the weight of life? Is
Yeah.
the cutting of the hair symbolic? Yeah, I can relate.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yep, I totally can relate to that. I applaud you for really owning that and understanding what that is. And the thing about it is that Lenny Kravitz, when his mother, Roxy Roper, died, Lenny Kravitz, you guys know who he is, the guitarist. His mother was the lady on the Jeffersons, the black lady on the Jeffersons who was married to the white man upstairs. Her name was Roxy Roper. And one of the things that Lenny Kravitz did when his mom passed away was, as he was going through the grieving process, he had dreadlocks. He cut his hair. It's something so symbolic about trying to lift the weight off our bodies as people of color and in the ritual of cutting hair. Now, I know there's two rituals that people use when they try to release the ritual of pain. One is the cutting of the hair. The other one is the cutting of the body. So I'm glad you chose the hair and not the body, because I've seen and I know people who talk about releasing pain from cutting. Yeah, because it is too much to handle. Right now, I want to play this. I want to see if I can play this clip from LL Cool J in the midst.
But before you do that, there's one thing I want to talk about, you know, that right now.
Go ahead.
I think it's harder for her to be biracial now,
okay,
than it was for her to be biracial then, because everything that's going on right now, and with her being half black and half white, and her having a police officer as a brother, she's got, you know, her family in the military, like she can't choose both sides.
Right.
She can't make a post and say Black Lives Matter, and then she can't make a post that says Police Lives Matter too. So she make a post that says Black Lives Matter. You got somebody mad because Police Lives Matter too. And then she makes a post that says Police Lives Matter. Then you got people saying, well, we ain't talking about the police right now. We're talking about Black Lives Matter. No, I mean, I love both because I'm both. I shouldn't have to choose. You know, so for me, seeing that and then seeing how people reacted to what it was that she was trying to say and her being biracial, she shouldn't have to choose. I don't care what we're fighting right now. She's on both sides of the fence. She's biracial, period. She shouldn't have to choose a side. She should be able to equally support both sides. But she can't, because that's not what we're talking about. We can't lift up the good police officers because all of them are not bad. And we can't lift up the good black men because all of them are not bad. It doesn't matter which way you go with it. She is either too black or she's too white. She's not just Winter. And she's not just showing love for the fact that she has a black brother and she has a white brother, and both are on completely opposite sides of the spectrum. They're completely opposite sides of the spectrum. She can't love both equally without somebody passing judgment on the fact that she loves one more than the other.
And you know what?
She shouldn't have to be put in that position.
She has a trifecta because her dad's white.
Yeah.
I feel you. And that's why I'm really glad we're having this conversation, because I'm sitting in kind of in a position as not as deep as Winters, but I have a nephew on a life support, you know, struggling with COVID. And then the other nephew is out there who's on SWAT trying to protect the city, right? And he is black as I am.
Right.
And so he's got to remember, when he's in that position right now, blue has got to be stronger than black, no matter what it is. So you imagine the plight that's going on in the mindset of the black man who's on the police force, who's got this walking of a line too. He may be a white or a black man, married to a white or a black woman, black or white children, biracial, mixed, out on the fighting lines, and every day he got to come home and justify why he on the fighting lines for his family, who's at home, that might be some black kids in the family, some white kids, and some that's somewhere in between. Imagine what's going on in that police officer's mind. See, so I don't care if people get mad at me for seeing it from both perspectives either, because my brothers served in the military, my daddy served in the military, my grandparents, everybody, all of us got skin in the game. We got a stake in the ground as to why America needs to stop killing black men in general. That's
yes, they do.
What the bottom line is it right now.
I agree with that.
That's what the bottom line is right now, from a humanity perspective and for what America stands for. That's where I'm coming from.
Right.
I'm trying to look at it through the lens of objectivity. So that's why we utilize in this channel, Dar, to talk about where we are, where we juxtaposed in our mind, because my heart cries every day just like you do. I'm on the phone, and part of my role in corporate is to help people. You got brothers crying. I'm seeing brothers breaking down in corporate America because they got to get out and come out every day and smile and sit there. And some of those people are biracial, and some of them are married to people who are first responders, and some of them are married to police officers, and some of them have biracial children, and some of them have racist in-laws.
Yeah.
Think about that piece. Throw that in there. And then tell a person to get up in the morning and get up and go to work and be out on the lines and do what they're supposed to do and give it best in class service because we're counting on you. Now, today there was some people that were very upset because in their community, the police weren't able to respond to the burglarization that was going on in the neighborhood, because the police were deterred to make sure that there was not unrest during the protests and the marching during the George Floyd funeral and memorial. So this is where it really gets crazy in the mindset of people, because we want them to be there to protect and preserve. And I know some people are gonna get pissed because I'm saying this. So where's the line at? Because they are trying to protect and preserve, and then you got other people over here who look like us that's taking advantage of the situation by looting and just cleaning stuff out. Because just like when the cat's away, the mice play, and that's really what's happening. So it's really, really deep of what's going on right now. You know, I'm kind of hurt too, because, you know, being somebody whose grandfather is white, having a child who looks like she's half white, and people treat her a certain way. My daughter went through a lot of the same things you went through with her, because she's the same color as you. She looks, you can't tell shades. I had people that have the audacity to come up to me and even form their mouth to say, "Oh, is your daughter, what nationality is your husband?" Black and then black. Because if you got one drop of black blood in you, you're black. I don't care what
black.
you say. You can sit around here and talk about your black mixed with this, that, and the third. But let's face it, everybody. If you look at the picture of all the black people that's been murdered, they've been everything from the shade to light bright, damn near white to blacker than damn leather shoes. They don't give a damn. So the whole thing is how do we maneuver through this? And I'm more interested in the rituals that we use to get out of this.
Right.
So let's look at this clip that LL Cool J, and then I really want to share with you some of the crazy myths that we were looking at, me and D'Artagnan were looking at, and we saw some of the crazy things. I was looking at a video where Vanessa Williams went through struggles. Remember, she was the first Miss America, and her eyes was green, and people was like, oh, she ain't black. She ain't black. But when Vanessa Williams goes somewhere to get a job in Hollywood, she black.
She black.
She ain't getting the lead role. Nina Hard was black. She might have not looked like it. You think about Dorothy Dandridge, you still black. One drop. And that's what people forget. So I applaud you, Winter, for coming on here and sharing with us some of the challenges that you actually had. Was there anything else you wanted to share about what you've been going through and how you've coped with it before we just go to this clip of LL Cool J and come back and talk about that and then some of the myths?
I know growing up when I first got my temps, there wasn't a mixed box. So my mom told me to just put white because she said if I ever got pulled over and they saw that I was black, something bad could happen. So then after a while, I just kept putting white until they had that mixed box, and then I finally started putting mixed.
It's interesting that you say that because I worked at a major state university. I was in the Department of Equity, Inclusion, and Diversity. And as the exit interview coordinator, I interviewed any and everybody, any professor, anybody that left that company, right, that left the university. One of the things that I noticed when I was doing the data is that the boxes said white, black non-Hispanic, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, and other. So when I would interview people who were from Pakistan, guess what box they checked?
Other? Or
White.
The white box.
Yep.
I was the person who went to my chancellor, the dean at that time, and said, your white box is inflated. They said, what do you mean? I said, because you got people in here that's from Asia, the places that we ain't never heard of over in Pakistan and Afghanistan, Thailand, and these people do not see themselves as white. I mean, don't see themselves as black. Definitely ain't gonna check the black box. They're not Asian Pacific, and they are not Hispanic. What was left? They didn't check the other box. I had an other box. They check white. What does that tell you? Even over in India, they got a caste system. I had a professor that talked about the caste system that, again, the lighter shades of your African Indians, your Pakistani Indians, they all get preferential treatment. Let's go to this video right here quick that LL Cool J, where he had something to say about some of the feedback that, or the backlash that he received as a result of something that he was talking about. All right.
And how people raising biracial children feel right now. This is crazy. So people were not understanding why he decided to come to Twitter with that thought, and there was some backlash for that. The backlash was so strong that he actually went on Instagram Live to try to clarify what he meant. Here's what he said.
But what you're not going to do is get me to just act like a moron or act like an idiot just for you to like me. Kiss my ass. I ain't doing that either. I'm not going to tell lies on Twitter or act like I don't have questions about things just to please you. I don't care if you like me or not. Because there are a lot of like-minded people who do and who get it. And that's who I care about.
No, I don't like seeing LL not cool. Like, it can't just be LLJ. It's got to be LL Cool J at all times. On that video, he lost his cool. LL is an icon. You know what I'm saying? LL always seems to be in control in every situation. Even when you hear about people breaking in his house, he's in control, beating the person up, calling the police. It seems like he wasn't in control in that video. I don't like seeing LL without the cool.
Yeah, I'm not even still sure what he meant by that statement at that time. But all right, now Janelle.
Okay, so we're gonna go back and let's just see what the exact statement was that LL.
He was pissed.
He was. All right, so let's see if we can get this.
And they don't understand why
Here we go.
Going businesses.
I'll
Now,
edit
Twitter's
that out.
also upset at LL Cool J, and they don't understand why he would question. He put out a tweet. Imagine how people raising biracial children feel right now. This is crazy. So people were not understanding.
Okay, so that was the quote. So you heard his rant. Now you hear what he said. So to me, I don't understand what's so hard about that, about really understanding that, because I'm gonna play this clip for you real quick. Sorry about that. Obviously, audio difficulties. Let me see if I can get that one. It was where this lady was talking about a role where she went to get, you know, a role in Hollywood. And one of the things is that they wanted her to act a little more black. Let me give you an example, since we can't play the clip right now for whatever reason. But some of the things that people think about when they think that you either black or you black enough. So here's this article that I found, 19 things people who aren't black enough understand, but you're really not black. First of all, one of the things that we want to put out here is a disclaimer. There's really no such thing as not being black enough. I want everybody to be understood that our position is that, hey, one drop of black blood, you black enough for us. Whether or not you go in for the handshake and you don't know whether to do the fist bump or one of these things, right? Look at these other ones. What's the assumption right here? When you see this point number 2, what does it assume if you're a black person that you have to be able to do?
We don't see your screen, L.
Oh, you don't see my screen. Okay, hold on one second. Let me hit the share button. Well, that will help, wouldn't it?
I'm like, what we supposed to be looking at?
It totally would help. Hey, y'all, you know how it is. I work all day for a living. I'll be tired. All right.
Put my eyes on so I can read.
All right, back to it again, people. I said 19 things people who aren't black enough need to understand. All right, so we gotta look at this clip. First of all, back to the disclaimer. No such thing as not being black enough. If you look like me, you black enough. You look like any of us, you black enough. All right, here it is. You go in for the handshake and things get awkward. Have you guys ever ran into that when you was getting ready to do a handshake with somebody, you didn't know what to do?
I'm a hugger, so I don't handshake.
Hey, well, Rona fixed that for you. You won't hug nobody no more now.
I elbow bump now. I don't even do that. I just do that.
Yep.
Okay, are we black enough? What's the elbow bump gonna be, darn? What we gotta do? What we gotta do? Can it be a simple elbow bump? Or you see us like get creative with the elbow bumps.
2 rights, 1 left.
You already created with the handshakes. It's gonna be bumpy here, down to the knees, back up. Okay. Oh, your friends ask you to join a band because they assume you got rhythm.
Mama don't got no rhythm.
Girl, tell him again. She did not get that from me.
Ooh. Girl, I had a teacher, like I was telling Dartania earlier. She said her husband is like, you go in and you just shake your head, because she said that assumption is not there. What about this one? You speak the king. You speak so well for
Yep.
and you bought you bought the fist bump all right.
You think you better than somebody else. You're too proper.
Or the reverse. You speak proper English and people say, oh, you speak very well. I had a supervisor. I thought about this today when I was thinking about what it means to be a person of color, a black person, black woman. On my performance review, I think it was like 1983 or 84, I was working in insurance. You know what she had the nerve to say? Actually writes very well. Bitch, I'm a customer service rep getting paid. Back then I was getting paid $25,000 and they was asking me stuff like, I go get my taxes done. White lady had the nerve to ask me, what do you do that you get paid that? I was like, you don't even want to go there. I work every day. I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone with people like you who don't know that the address that I'm talking about over the bill, you don't have to go outside, open your door and look over the address on the house to see if you can find your account number. Don't get me started talking about how stupid some people are when they call in. I won't name no names. Here's another one. When your friends call,
Damn.
you to they always look at you for, like, did I say it right? It's like, bye, Felicia. You don't even know where the reference came from. I told a couple of people, it's like, you said bye, Felicia. Do you know where that came from? And then they look at you. No. Okay. Have you ever been told this at work?
I've been told that.
Yeah, but when they pull you over on the side of the road, you definitely black enough. I've been black enough when they gave me that $200 ticket for doing 49, which they said I wasn't. The guy that was going around me was doing 55, so they stopped me and gave me a ticket for $200. I was black enough.
Yep.
Lovers have been shocked to discover the actual size of your. Okay, I've seen some equipment. That's damn sure a myth. Right, Di? Hey.
Yeah, that's a myth.
It's a myth, y'all. Thank God it's a myth.
The myth buster.
Bitch, really, please? Officers call you out when you come in on the plight of inner city youth and you grew up in the suburbs. You grew up in Fox Point, they talking to you. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I grew up in Highland Park. Highland Park, Illinois, one of the richest suburbs there are. I've actually spent time living there and in Fox Point. Although I was working for people as a summer girl, yeah, I was gone for 4 years. I didn't know, you know. Don't look at me like I know the plight of everything. I live your life.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know all the words to the Tupac song. And I don't know the ones, all the Snoop, but I know some. I don't know all to all of them.
I don't know all to all of them either.
Wow.
But you probably could tell us give us the words to them.
Not to Tupac.
I know pussy, paper, and poetry is power and something. You know, the rest, I don't want to say the rest on the air because it has some expletives in it. But it's in my favorite Tupac, Me Against the World is my favorite album. That and Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah, there's Body Rot. Ooh, I can spit that like nobody's business. Yeah. Yeah. So it ain't about the song, it's about what your connection is to it, right?
Yep.
All right, what's the next one? Usually the first pick and sometimes the biggest disappointment at the game.
That's me. Everybody thought I knew how to play basketball because I was black and I'm 5'10". I cannot play basketball. No, I cannot.
I had one jump. It was the dirt around that Sky said.
I cannot play basketball. People.
No, that was like that track season where the girl dropped the baton, the black girl dropped the baton. I was so mad.
Yeah, that when and when you see like well for me I was so proud when I saw Debbie Thompson and Surya Bonali out there on the ice, you know, ice skaters, because we're not supposed to be able to ice skate. They were saying that her butt was too big, like your ballerina people, you know. So it's all these stereotypes about what types of sports we can actually be involved in. So
right.
When you jump in the pool and your friends are more worried about your hair than you are.
Look, mine are. Girl,
Would you say that's real? You say that's real, right?
I'm more worried about her hair because I'm the one that has to fix it after.
They're real friends. Those are real friends.
Real friends. Well, for me, as y'all can see how I'm rolling, and I'm a swimmer. So that's the other stereotype is that
I cannot swim.
Oh, I can swim home.
He blessed me with that. Can't swim either.
Front, I can swim on the back. I can do on my side.
You swimming?
Yes.
I can't swim efficiently.
Well, I sent you. Ain't my fault.
I can keep tread so I don't drown.
Hey,
I can't swim.
That ain't my fault.
The point is not to drown by any means necessary. So another myth that's tied in there, you know, is they joke about the hair, but the myth is that we can't swim, so we ain't getting in the pool anyway. All right, here's another one. Your cousin says you sound stuck up when you use proper grammar.
I get that all the time.
Yep.
Are you getting it now? Do you hear it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to hear something? You guys? I speak big words and I use proper English on purpose because I paid for it. My education cost me $250,000. I still owe $2,000. you damn well I am going to use every big word and speak as proper as I can and write the like you never seen. I paid.
You
I
speak
earned
like T.I.
right. Hmm.
You speak like T.I.
Oh hell yeah. Me and T.I. go way back. I've been calling that brother saying, look, you need to get at me. I'm not ashamed of having great enunciation, being able to pronounce words, having great diction, being able to use a lexicon and research. I'm not ashamed of any of that. None of it. I'm not ashamed to be able to speak the King's English and or get gooder when I need to. So just so y'all know, I'm proud of having that adaptability, malleability, and flexibility. Look the words up if you don't. Call me if you want to know more. Right. Here we go. Did you buy this book, people? Did you buy that book? The Old Fat White Guy's Guide to Ebonics by I.B. White. Should be in everybody.
No.
But what this does is it plants a seed in our mind that our English is Ebonic. Is our English no different than anyone else who adapts like your in language, your quiet language that everybody knows? You know, like you think about patois, you speaking to a Jamaican person, and all of a sudden they just go into their language and it's kind of cold. And then they come back to, you know, does anybody remember Pig Latin?
Yep.
Right.
Nope.
Take the first letter, put it at the end, ooh, which be you, because you go ooh yay, oh day, at gay, I tame.
It would take me so long to figure that out.
Do you got time for me?
You just make it up, girl. You make it up. It's real long.
I-M-A. That's how it is. You just take the first letter and you put it on the end. That's all you do. So for you, it's ooye. So you take the O-U and put the Y at the back. Do is O-day. Do you. So ooye, do a. It's really kind of cool. Once you start speaking it in like a lot of people that were older than us, so a lot of adults, and they used it as coded language because they would say things that they didn't want their children to really hear, as opposed to, yeah, because everything isn't for your kids to hear. That was the thing.
I got to close your damn ears. That was it.
And I was
go to your damn room.
Yeah. Ours was
Get
the
out of
look.
here. Ain't nobody talking to you.
Hey, that was the look, Dar. That looked at, you know damn well you ain't got.
Get. Look, turn around. Get.
You see my face. All the way around. Yeah. You sing, people expect Aretha Franklin, you get something like Sarah Bareilles. R-E-S-P-C-T. How does it mean to me? I was like, yeah, right. Sorry, I just had to go there because I do have colleagues who are the white persuasion, and that's exactly the way they were doing it. I was like, no, y'all need some soul. Come on now, let me break y'all out. Clueless is my favorite movie. Have you ladies seen Clueless?
No.
No.
Clueless is one of my daughter's favorite movie. Is Clueless, and her favorite series is the Gilmore Girls. And I gotta say, I like them both. They're not your traditional texts that you would expect a person like me to be looking at, but there's some things in there that I really like. It's like, to me, those two ladies, when they were being friends, it's like friendship goes past boundaries. And I'm sure, Winter, you had some girlfriends who were not necessarily fitting of the Black status quo, but y'all had some things in common. Remember when I said like you had that common place? You had one girlfriend, it didn't matter what she looked like. Y'all was just kind of sync. Whatever you could finish her sentences, right?
And sandwich.
And sandwich. That friend, y'all had that friend. That was my sister-in-law who just passed away. We was like that. We was like hell on wheels to anybody that tried to mess with us, but we was 2 tons of fun, and we didn't weigh but 110 pounds each. So it was good, you know? So country music.
I love country music.
That's my little country child right there. Big buckles.
Shania Twain.
Kelly, do you like Carrie Underwood?
I sure do.
How about, have you ever listened to Patsy Cline?
Probably. I'll have to hear a song.
Fall to pieces. You girl, I love me some Patsy Cline. I actually
Google it when you're done.
Yes. Brooks and Dunn's, Travis Tritt,
I don't know none of them names.
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton.
Shelton, I know.
Girl, he got a song, on my CD playing list. Yeah. All right.
Brian.
Oh, yes. Girl, yes.
He's fine.
And that country dancing, and if you ever had you a black cowboy, ooh, yes. A black cowboy.
She done flashback. L, keep moving.
I'm sorry, I'm going to number 16. We got 3 more to go, y'all. I had a heat flash there. When you go out of
had a little happy moment over there.
I had a happy moment. I had a flashback. All right. When you go out, your friends ask you to teach them the latest dance craze, but you have not heard of it.
That's me.
That's why I tell you, do the Millie Watt. It's like, what you talking about?
I'll be like, what?
What you talking about? And then
that's what we doing how to do it, Winter. I'd be like, go talk to that one, because I don't know what you're talking about.
And
I know of it does not mean I know how to do it.
Mm-mm.
We used to have a dance every week, and I knew every single dance. But now all that stuff is blended together. So don't ask me to show you what the newest dance is. You know, your uncle wonders why you use a shower sponge instead of a wash rag. That hard, crusty ass rag.
I'll use a loofah.
Right, and I got a sponge. You know, what the hell?
I use both.
Okay, depending on what the situation is, right?
Yep.
It ain't no either or, it's what the situation is.
Right.
I need a deep clean, or I just need to freshen up.
A deep clean. Shut up. Okay, you stay pretty chill when you get upset, which baffles those expecting an angry black response, and that's the carryover that goes into the workplace. You have people telling you to shush, telling people you to, calm down, when all you said was good morning. And somebody tell you, calm down. Don't be so upset. I said
Just because I'm loud doesn't mean I'm upset.
Say that
right,
again.
we just loud.
Yeah, we just loud. Good morning. How are you?
Right. And what's wrong with that, right? What's wrong with coming in having that jovial, upbeat attitude? And they say, oh my God, do we need to call the EAP? She's upset.
Or when they don't say it back because they're scared of you, like, excuse you, you rude.
Right. And for those people
I'm saying good morning back. What's wrong with you?
I said good morning. I said hi.
My mama would have gave you a whooping. If I speak, you speak back.
But y'all know what's so funny is
I have to kick people out my house.
In a minute, I'm gonna read you this list. The last list we're gonna read is things that black people need to not do, okay, while being black, just so you know. All right, people try to get you to pick a side. Look at the signs, y'all. Look at the signs. Look at the signs. Do you see it? But you asking me to pick a side. Sit your ass down somewhere, okay? Have 2 seats. If that's even possible is what they said. It's only one way. All right, the last thing I want to do is things you can't do while you're being black, just so you kind of see. It was just kind of funny. Okay, things you can't do being black. They just crack me up. Okay, so 21 things you can't do while being black. And I want you to remember this, y'all, because we cannot forget, no matter how much blood we have in us, if we have 1 drop of black blood, we're going to be challenged, no matter whether we're multiracial, biracial, or whatever. So here's 21 things that we cannot do. We are here to engage in conversation that enlightens, inspires, and uplifts. Today we want to enlighten you. All right. So if you can see this, you cannot listen to loud music at a gas station.
I still do that.
You cannot walk from a snack run to 7-Eleven. You can't wear a hoodie. Don't drive after swimming. You better not drive in a car with a white girl. So Winter, be careful, because you don't necessarily.
My best friend's white.
You fit the profile, but you might get mistaken. Appear in public in New York City. Walk on the wrong side of the street. Wait for a school bus to take you to your high school game. Drink iced tea in a parking lot. seek help after a car accident, inspect your own property, show up at your job, talk trash after an NFL game, throw a temper tantrum if you're in kindergarten. I don't know if y'all saw the story about the 6-year-old girl, and for each one of these, you can click on the link to see the story behind it. There was a young 6-year-old girl that threw a temper tantrum in a classroom. She was arrested, put in handcuffs, and taken to jail. I'm not lying. You watch the story to make you cry. Buy designer accessories at Barney's. Buy designer accessories at Macy's. Be 13 and a boy. Enter your own home. The lady that just got killed, that was in her home. Watch a science experiment, be a tourist, and finally, lay down and face down in handcuffs. So I just want you guys to know, so you follow the rules when you go out, because even if you don't think you're Black, things you can't do being a Black woman. So you cannot be a Black woman and stand up for yourself because you'll be labeled angry.
Angry.
Angry. You cannot find your love in another race, because after all, you will be betraying your race. Winter, you do
two of them.
You do not deserve to be made of fun of as a kid for your hair type, because you got good hair.
Don't touch it either.
And everybody
come up to me and pet me.
Oh, that's all me. That's all me. I used to tell people, don't fucking pet me. I ain't no dog. What the hell?
I'm looking at this, why it's extremely being hard to be a Black woman. And those are the reasons why it's hard to be us. Because, you know, everyone assumes that you and another Black person is related. And if there's only one other Black person in the building, y'all must know everything about everybody. So
when I was younger, people thought I was related to Derrick Rose, the basketball player. Oh, you're Black, you must be related to Derrick Rose. I don't even know who he is.
Well, just if you really want to not, you know, if you're a Black person, the final nail in the coffin is that if you are a Black person, here's some things you better not do. Laugh and drink wine on a tour. Okay, people might think there's something wrong with you. Don't be loud. Even though other people are loud, you can't be loud. Don't have a nice car. George Floyd was driving a Mercedes-Benz 450. I don't know if people recognize the car. It's the first thing that when I scan the video, jealousy will ensue. They hate when they will always ask you whose car you driving and how did you get it. The assumption is you must be a drug dealer or a drug dealer's wife. Chris Rock said, if you tune into him, he'll tell you a story about that. Walking a lot. You gotta be careful. If you walking a lot, you might be something that you should do. And please, don't go to the mall. Do not go to the mall. You are not allowed to go to the mall. It's a violation of somebody's rights. I don't know who they are, but just so you know, I'm just a messenger. I don't agree with anything that I'm seeing here. So please, people, don't think that we agree with this. Right. We just
all bullshit.
How it's bullshit,
that's
ludicrous,
right,
and how stupid shit is out here. But anytime you could get arrested for calling an Uber, I have to say that's a damn shame. We got to give out the damn shame award to people who call the cops on you for sitting on a park bench. And people
walking home all drunk so you don't get arrested.
The phone call ain't Karen. Her name is fucking Amy. That's the bitch who made the phone call. Quit calling her Karen. Get it straight.
I'm sure there was a Karen that made a phone call. I mean,
Karen's to speak to the manager. Amy's the I'ma call the cops.
Oh, see, she clarified it for us.
That's what we need the youth for. That's why they out there fighting, so we can get it right. So on that note, I really want to thank you, Winter, for sharing your story with us tonight about what it means to be Black in America. You know, even though people try to have you straddle the fence and say you're not Black enough, you know, you got a triple challenge, you know, being in a relationship, being married to a white man, being in a person who's a person mixed of color. Your mom was in a relationship, and here I am, 25% white, y'all. Black power, which hand? Right hand. Okay, we good. I say that, you know, it's all from the heart. I don't really care. I just judge people by the way they treat me. You treat me like crap, we done. You treat me like you love me and it's all good and I'm gonna do anything I can for you. So on that note, what are your final thoughts before we hang up?
It was a great conversation.
It was very good.
If it was one final thing that you want people to know about what it means to be a biracial child in America, Winter, what would you say?
Just be yourself. Don't let anyone define who you are, because either way, you're going to be black or you're going to be white, you're going to be Hispanic. It's just who you are. Don't let that build on you.